Hello, my name is Taylor Doing, and with my project this semester, I wanted to try and implement something my ethics professor once told us in class, and that was everything leads back to racism and depression. And with this class, even though I didn't really know how or what my intent would initially be with all of that, I guess I wanted to see how weather, or I guess in the end of the day, how whether the tools at least around weather have a history around racism or oppression, or have at least been used in those regards. And I'll explain. And I'm not like calling out meteorologists. This is clearly a polyethical standpoint. Just an understanding how weather, primarily like natural disasters, have been used. And I was pretty surprised to see that in some ways weather has been used to oppress people, or at least, like I was saying, the effects of weather and storms and natural disasters and the fallout of weather, basically. Um, in research about rehousing issues, so much of it comes in the form of so often poor communities that are drastically affected by hurricanes or tornadoes. Generally, people who can't just up and move or rebuild real quickly to fit the needs of their own, now torn apart lives. And often the local or national governmental bodies do little to help subsidize housing. it's it's kind of like oppression by omission. It's not necessarily doing anything, it's not like enslavement, but it's dragging your feet, right? It's dragging their feet. Um, it's forcing these poor communities to use their already minimal funds and small finances, meager finances, to now rebuild in places that they were seemingly forced to move to in the first place because they don't have the finances or funds to live in wealthy communities. And now this disaster has happened. A tornado, a hurricane, um, has taken place. I'm sure you can hear my cat. And how are you supposed to grow? How are you supposed to fulfill your dreams when your already struggling life has now been ripped apart and dashed to bits in front of you because a government isn't willing to step in and help out, and the only people that are seemingly stepping up to participate and help out are just as hard off as you are, oftentimes have been equally affected by storms or adverse weather and flooding and things like that, just like you are. And with no means to really subsidize those situations, you're forced into these impossible situations where you can't pay to rebuild, you can't pay to move, and you can't really pay to live, and you're just kind of forced into these poverty-stricken environments that just get worse and worse. And it kind of goes back a lot to, I think I touched on this in my reflection, but gerrymandering and even redlining, and not so much in them forcing people into specific areas of natural disasters, but still having that same mentality to be able to force people into slum areas or I guess just lesser areas, places that are, again, like I think of places like Texas that are prone for tornadoes, and it's always the trailer park mentality that we hear, and it's the poor communities that get swept and stricken, and not the wealthy people or the wealthier communities that are being taken care of. And it's this form of oppression that continues to exist and perpetrate. This semester has been, I wouldn't say so much mind or eye opening as much of affirming as it has been, just helping me in restating my own creed in life, and to move forward and to continue to fight oppressive bodies not that weather is an oppressive body, but being able to use it to oppress people. Yeah, thank you very much.